So today's legs, we're gonna start off with back squat. You're gonna find an 8 rep max. So mine was 255. Then you're gonna take 95% of that weight and you're gonna do 8 reps for 1 set. Then you're gonna take 90% of this weight and do 2 sets of 8. So my 8 rep max was 255, 95% of this was 242, 90% of this was 230. Then you're gonna do barbell step-ups, supersetted with barbell walking lunges. Use the same weight for each one. We're doing this first. Since this is a much stronger lift, your legs are gonna be tired, so it'll allow you to use the same weight. So 10 reps per leg on the step-up. You're gonna alternate, and then 30 yards with the barbell lunges. Next is GHD Hamstring Curls, 4 sets of max with a 4-second eccentric contraction. And then last is single leg front squat, 3 sets of 6. Don't find a 6 rep max, but just work up to a heavy 6 reps. You want to be able to do the same weight for all 3 sets.
Weakness. Do I have weakness? I am nothing but weakness. I'm not naturally strong or fast or flexible. I'm certainly not the smartest person in the world. I get emotional over stupid things. I care too much about meaningless things and not enough about important things. My ego, I move forward with my fists clenched toward the battle, toward the struggle.
All right, so the 8 rep max was 255, so now you're gonna do 95% of that. So 255 times 0.95, that's 242. I can actually put 242 on here because of these change plates. So you're gonna do 95% for 8 reps for only 1 set. Okay, now we're on to the 90% sets. So we're gonna do 2 sets of 8 using 90% of what our 8 rep max was. So that was 255 times 0.9 is 229, so I'll put 230 on the bar. So instead of just doing 1 set like we did for the 95%, since it's less weight, we're gonna be doing 2 sets of 8, and then we'll be done with back squats. So we're gonna do some hamstring work now, but before we do, we'll do our review of the day. So we're gonna do some more anatomy since we're about to do the hamstrings. We'll go over the innervation of the hamstrings. So which hamstring muscle does not receive its innervation from the tibial division of the sciatic nerve? So there's 4 hamstring muscles. One of those does not receive innervation from the tibial division of the sciatic nerve. So you have the biceps femoris, which has a long head and a short head. You have semimembranosus and sembitendinosus. So 3 muscles, but one has a short and long head, so think of it as 4. The short head gets innervation from the common perineal branch of the sciatic nerve, versus the other 3 get innervated from the tibial branch of the sciatic nerve. So it's important to know this for boards, especially for electromyography, if we get consults on the PM&R service, because if someone has a foot drop, you're thinking L5 radiculopathy, lumbosacral plexopathy, more likely a sciatic nerve, common perineal, deep perineal, or superficial perineal nerve lesions. So somewhere along that track. So to help distinguish that, since we know the short head of the biceps femoris is innervated by the common perineal branch of the sciatic nerve, then it should be normal if the lesion is at the fibular head or below. If the short head is abnormal, then you have to think something above it or at that level is injured. Let's say you can't do full GHD reps on your own yet because your hamstrings aren't strong enough. You can grab a PVC pipe. I have this spotter bar that came with the squat rack. You can hold it like this. So go down as slow as you can, and then you can push off with the PVC pipe or any type of bar. You could have a barbell sitting there too, and you just kind of slide your hand down the barbell and push off the barbell. Good shoulder mobility to do a front rack, you can just use straps if you have straps. Again, what's the difference between a front squat and a back squat? So the weight is here with a front squat versus back here with a back squat. So the weight is closer to the quadriceps. So that's why it loads the quadriceps more, so you get more quadricep development versus a back squat. If you have a high bar back squat, again, that puts the barbell further anterior, so it is going to be a lot more quads, but it's also posterior chain, so glutes and hams. Versus a low bar back squat where the bar is back here. So that bar is really far away from the quads and closer to the hips and glutes, and that's why it is more hip and glute dominant. But those are your stronger muscle groups anyway, so that's why typically people are stronger with a low bar back squat. As you'll see in powerlifting, that's why that type of squat is predominantly used versus Olympic lifting. They train a lot of front squats or high bar squats, because with a clean and press, a clean is basically a front squat. So they need to develop really strong quadriceps. They're not too worried about maximal weight in the squat because they want to get maximal weight in their clean and press or snatch. So why are we doing this big compound movement, front squat, at the end of our workout? Well, exercise order is just as important as exercise selection. So the reason why we're doing this at the end is because our legs are fatigued from all the work we've already done. That way we don't have to put a lot of weight to get the same amount of benefit, and therefore you're not going to load your spine as much. So for me, that's why I'm doing it. Let's say someone had knee or back, hip, whatever issues, and heavy weight aggravated it, so they stopped doing certain exercises, like let's say the front squat, for example. But if they put it at the end of their workout and not have to do as much weight yet still get benefit because that muscle's fatigued, then they can still do the front squat and get the benefits from the front squat, or if they just enjoy doing a front squat. So that's why exercise selection is important, just like choosing which exercise to do. Because the most important thing is always to avoid injuries, prevent injuries, or prevent exacerbation of existing injuries. Just because you're injured doesn't mean you can't train around injuries.